So today we're going to be exploring Mek-kamoses' spire, trying to get some golem bits, yay! And I'll be doing a little bit of building and, I don't know, maybe trying to get a iron weapon and some other iron tools, because that would really help out a bunch. Hi, if you're new to the channel, I'm Millibet. I play a lot of survival games. Conan Exiles happens to be one I have a redonkulous amount of hours in. If you're coming back to the channel, welcome back. It's so good to see you. If you're viewing this episode not as part of the series, totally fine. We'll be covering points that are independent, but it is part of a Let's Play walkthrough. It is episode 3. If you haven't checked out the other ones, you can at some point as well. That'd be cool. It might add some context to where we're at. But if you were watching episode 2, you might be thinking, but you're not in the same spot you were before. I did a little run around. I decided I want to build over here because it is a lot closer to a bunch of stuff and is an equally flat, nice little area. I'm gonna leave my other little hut over where it was. My bedroll is indicated. I'm over here. I didn't run past basically anything to touch it. So we still have to do that. I've mined a little bit of metal and a little bit of things over there to get stuff going. Got an elevator down because it's quite high. It was quite the climb. Didn't bother recording it. It was boring as shit. I've laid out a little bit of a foundation for what will be my kind of castle-y thing. Unfortunately, there is a thrall camp. Well, not unfortunately. There's a thrall camp and a caravan just there because the obelisk. So I can't build a lot here, but we've got a bunch of metal down there, that guy, which is very handy, thrall camp for souls and whatnot, as well as Mek-kamoses' spire being right there. A bunch of resources about. It's pretty decent spot, nice and flat, nice and high up, no enemies, 10 out of 10. Even on PvP, you could build a little base here and people just aren't going to find it unless they're scouting or want to come build up here themselves because there's no actual paths up. It's a complete plateau. So I've seen people build up on this little thing to give them some height as well, and then just kind of land claim a bit about the PV. It's pretty excellent. I'm gonna go down now. This is a slow elevator, so it makes me so sad. I do need to upgrade some benches, but I think first, I don't have too much crazy stuff on me. But first, I want to go talk to the folks over at Mek-kamoses' spire, because now I'm so close. I'm excited to get this going. I've discovered a couple of new things about the journey steps. As you can see, we don't have a camera today because I couldn't be bothered. But in the future, I will be moving my camera because during editing, I was like, that is a dumb place for you. Cannot see the journey steps pop up because I very rarely look over at OBS when I'm playing because I'm playing. So that didn't become apparent until editing. You pause for a second and you get beat up by rock noses. I almost died. I wasn't prepared for the both of them. They just kind of shot up out the ground as I ran over this way. I got a heal more before they mess me up. That there. Ooh, where we're running to on the map is just here in G7? Yeah, G7. Right near the savannah. You need elephant and rhino hides for armor. Well, epic armor anyway. You can get away with regular armor just using thick tanned leather. There is an emote just up here for a dance that we'll be getting. I think it's a Sumerian dance. Yes. Very fun breakdancey dance. We like him. Little village with a couple of dudes in it that we're not going to particularly mess with right now. So many hyenas around. They're so annoying. I don't even know if I have any points spent in strength and stuff. Another little caravan over here. This is in fact the one that sells the sickle, I think. Yeah, some of the things I discovered with the journey steps is that you have to unlock certain knowledge feats for it to then bring up, say, like the farmer one. So you might be looking going, oh, that's not a lot compared to what they used to have. And some are dependent on you achieving the predecessor for them to even come up. Not even, because they're not there unlocked. They're just like not even there until you achieve it. So going and say discovering the dregs is going to unlock the dungeon diving one, which we'll be doing a guide on that. So if you've been struggling to do some of those journey steps that are a little bit more tricky, I'll be doing individual little guides on those ones to get you some of the cool stuff they offer. But anyway, this get done caravan is going to sell a sickle from memory. Get Blackblood Sickle, very cheap. Highly recommend, if you're new to the game, finding an easy place with a bunch of sources around. Guides for sorcerers. I can make a rough little one in this area if you want to build in this area. Doing specific area guides that are coming out soon as well, so you all can get to know the map a little bit better. And rather than doing like a whole sorcerer's guide and jumping from place to place and you're like, but I don't know how to get where and what. I'm going to do like specific areas so you all can know where to build, what's good to farm there, what thralls are good to farm there, etc. Moving on, this camp here is quite good because it does have a fair few sorceries at it. And wheels on this way. I don't want to kill them right now. I don't feel tough enough. Lots of baby elephants and hides to be had from fairly easy to kill dudes. There's kudos, twinsing. Try to like not get wrecked at this level. I think I'm only like level 20 or 21 or something, not very high. You can go around and harvest a bunch of stuff at this point as well and get a bit more levels in your life. I am an old hat at running places way lower level than I am. So if you're not confident with just running past stuff and ignoring it, do level up a little bit more, maybe even make that iron weapon before you come. You can go farm those sorcerers and get steel weapons pretty easily. And then even coming up over to Mek-kamoses' spire itself, you'll be able to purchase some legendary stuff for different amounts of different things like obelisks and their other new coin. This little pathway up is on this side, right here. I've yet to actually discover a proper golem in the wild. I found a few golem rock noses, what are they called? Blood crystal rock noses. They pop up in all sorts of random places. Like right behind the Eastern Barracks is one that I know of, because on official and the unofficial PvP server I've been playing on, I'm built over that direction, so it's been quite easy for me to farm that. Not sure if a bunch of content will be coming out on that or not yet. Depends if interesting stuff happens on either server, I suppose. This will change every, I think it's half hour once it resets, but it could be 15 minutes, depending on server settings. I run mostly official server settings, official PvP that is, so it's 4 times harvest, 1 times XP. Same like enemy attackage as official PvP, but I also have faster crafting time and faster thrall crafting because unlike official, when I log out, stuff doesn't aim and craft. And because I'm solo, it just makes it a little bit easier. So we do official settings around here for PvP, just in case people want to use these as PvP guides. If you're playing PvE on a single player server, you can set it to 4 times and not feel too bad, but official PvE is 2 times. This is quite something. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to show that on YouTube. We'll see. Talk to this guy. He used to look quite different as well, like a little set hat. He's gotten kind of fancy. He's got a whole new setup here. He was just standing all weirdly below this before. If you hadn't been, all of this is new. They just swung in with their outpost. Ooh, couple of guys to fight, a few more merchants. Wish it wasn't nighttime. Blackblood Pick, 15 ancient obelisks. Wish I had some ancient obelisks on me. So that guy will change. So you can just keep coming back and farming this rather than going to all the different caravans around the place. I don't know why I pointed at New Asgard. There is not one there. If you haven't discovered the dungeon, this is where you find it. Sorry, spoilers. You can put some blood crystals in there to activate it, kind of like a regular teleportation stone, but in this instead teleports you to the dungeon. It's kind of like almost a little introduction into what teleportation stones could do, because some people have them and don't use them. They don't know how handy they are and stuff. Cute little setup. So this is where you, I guess, trade in. So you can trade blood crystals. That's kind of cool. And that's the skull you get, I mean, from Kurak, the guy in the dungeon. Get some fancy stuff. We'll be doing that in the next couple episodes as well. I still have to run back and touch the map room and Golan Mitra. A few things around this area. So if not next episode, probably the episode after or the one after that. It'll be soon. We'll be doing the dungeon when we're probably level 60 and it won't take me too long, hopefully. I can attempt it before that, but it's a bit crazy. This is this area. If you haven't been here, come check it out. On PvP, it's gonna probably have some contenders for sure in the area. I want to see what it changes into and how long it lasts. And I bet if I was to teleport away and come back or something, or run away and come back, it would all reset as well. So I'm assuming, because single player. That's 20 minutes, and it just switches between the ones that the caravan guys already sell. It's not offering anything particularly new or fancy. So if you're familiar with the old caravan guys, that is what they're selling. You'd think that they would have some of the golem things and stuff like near the dungeon, just in case you happen to run straight here and not find any on your way. Weird choices. Like even a bloody rock nose. Kinda cool. Just below us, there's also a boss alligator that crocodile. Why I always call them alligators, man. Hang out with too many Americans, they break me. You find a boss crocodile and a god key box right below as well. Don't take him on yet. If you're still quite low and have a stone weapon, not advisable. Oh, I didn't even go learn golem shaping. What am I doing with my life? I got far too distracted. Back up, we get far too distracted. My whole purpose of coming here, as well as showing you all. I come up over to this guy. He's quite indicated by the golem shaping bits around. And learn that you can buy golem parts off him that change, I guess, every hour. Seems accurate. And now you can craft golems. Golem parts are quite easy to get from killing sorcerers or finding any of the steel boxes in the world. But the little wooden boxes also have a chance to get them, like the ones around Dagon's Descent. I got a fair few around there. All in Sephimaru. Again, guides of all of that coming out soon. Little farmy route things and area guides to get you all to know the place a bit more, like I said. And now we head back because yes, I'm probably just going to jump down the side. Yeah, because quicker. I need to do a bunch of farming. Maybe a little bit more laying out of my bed. I at least have a iron pick from finding it in somewhere. Where the hell I got that from? Maybe I made it in the last episode. I don't remember. Beep. Can avoid those guys. At the moment, they are a little bit tougher than what I can handle. We've gone from Defiris into Den Dweller people that wear hyena armor and stuff. Pretty easy to find your base again. You're building up here. Now, if you would happen to like to level a little bit quicker, but you have headed towards the desert, mining does give you a decent chunk. It's no Lotus levels, but it's also not that far to just run up to the Purple Lotus and over to the Black Gardens and stuff. To gain a few extra levels, skin all the animals or hack them up. That gives you a little bit of extra as well. And of course, bark trees, pretty chunky. Once you start going up in level again, that's going to go down. And I'm fairly sure the better level weapon you get, you're going to get better level XP. Although it does look pretty the same with the iron. So that could just be all a figment of my imagination also. I'm going to gather up all this good stuff because coal's pretty chunky XP too. And I need all of this for my production. You'll get a decent amount of resin if you use a pick on a tree. I'm using an axe currently because I need wood. Picks used to get wood off trees as well, but now they don't. You need a pickaxe. You can also use a pick at a stretch to mine this stuff at a lower rate. Yeah, using a pick, you're going to get some resin and bark. You don't get resin off the dry trees because they're dead. Okay, how full am I? That's okay, not too full. Might get rid of him and pop in a few more attribute points. This is going to help with farming as well. Depending on what you are farming and where, this is handy to switch up. I usually go with grants twice as many resources because there's certain cool things like zeal and zaf bags that you can get a lot more of. With this and mining brimstone in the jungle especially, rare resources is nice if you happen to be trying to chase something like exquisite flesh for making agility foods with the salted exquisite flesh, or like gold when you're farming in the volcano. That's pretty handy. So I do advise going and learning the Jabulsag memory wipe potion so you don't have to make lotus potions all the time. I have a whole guide on mind wipes. Go check that out. Don't recreate your character ever. You want to mind wipe, but I also don't advise going into admin mode and resetting attributes because I'm not 100% sure if they haven't bugged that up still, but my old character had only 59 points because I lost a point because I reset it once. So that was fun. Yeah, I can gather a lot more things now. These guys aren't going to attack me. Spear of the Black Circle. It's like 45 damage, maybe 16 armor pen, something like that. Plant materials, thralls. Oh, are you right, mate? Where did you even come from? Let's kill her. Okay, don't really want her loot. I do have a skinning knife. Annoyingly, you can find in your settings to change automatically to the next journey step once you've completed a journey step. Unfortunately, that doesn't automatically select, like say this, I have to skin an animal. If I hadn't already done that and I skinned Old Love, it wouldn't then automatically switch to that one because I'm doing it and it's available. You have to finish the entire journey step. Then it switches automatically to the next one, but it's in sequence. I like to jump around and change to what I'm doing when I'm doing it. So it is good to kind of, before you leave base, go, okay, I got to do this, I got to do that. Like if I see a greater Wheel of Pain on a PvP server, I haven't built one yet, or a Wheel of Pain, I haven't gotten to the After Thrall Taker bit yet, we get the hood. I'd switch to the journey before touching it, because if I touched it and then walked away, it would not tick it off. Then you have to have the journey step active. Mildly annoying, very annoying actually, because I've defeated a sorcerer and I found the sorcerer's cave, but I did it in a different order, so that didn't count. Now I need to do all of that again. Grr. But whatever. So I'm gonna hack them up. Meant to skin them, but we've come too far now. I do need a bit of human flesh anyway. Run over here and touch the obelisk just in case. Can use picks to gather the lotuses. In case you didn't know, now you know. Just down that little way, there are a lot of rock noses, and I'm assuming there's going to be a blood rock nose down there. These guys are corrupted hyenas, and they can offer you some demon blood and rotten flesh on occasion. They're a little bit chunky for me yet. And we've also got an emote. Worm. The encampment has been overrun by raiders and miscreants. I have yet again been forced out of my home. I made my way here, where I knew they would not follow. Now I understand why. I hear the breath of the beast, even above the thundering sound of my own heartbeat. I will stay here no longer, and I need to in order to make certain I have not been followed. I managed to steal enough bread and water to sustain me for a short period. Yesterday night, I saw lights in the south. I will travel there. Perhaps the lights from the fire will keep the hyenas at bay. Perhaps. I am super corrupt now. Silly. That's okay. I'll go visit Conan's house over at Sephimaru at some point. Anyway, this is my elevator from my other character. If you didn't know, you can create an elevator here and make it go down there, because there is dragon bone recipes down there to touch. You have to be like level 55 at least, I think, to touch them. So there's no point me going down there and risking my life. Also where you find Grey Lotus for leveling up sorcery, or making Grey Lotus potions if you really must, but there are better strength potions than that to make, like Black Lotus, cheaper, more of it, gives you levels. A couple of sorcerers and stuff over in this camp, which is kind of handy. There's a bearer and some taskmasters as well. And we've got the whole summoning place over this way, which I'm pretty sure is a journey step in itself, but you have to be level something. Cartographer. Reach level 25 is the predecessor for getting cartographer. I am level 21, so that's not me yet. And that is kind of another good reason to go power level. See, I'm handy. I already have been around this map on my other character, so it's almost like playing on a multiplayer server, because it was so long ago I did so much of that I forget where a lot of this stuff is anyway, so I'm genuinely like, oh shit, that's here. Cool. I'm pretty full, and you get a lot less stam regen when you're full, so I'm going to go deposit. Also, if you die, it's a lot less annoying, and if you're on a multiplayer server, a lot less likely to get your body looted. Lose all your stuff before you come back to get it. I might climb up right here. Take the hyenas, lost interest. Hyenas are pretty decent power farm, because anything like cats or rhinos and elephants are heavy leather anyway, and bear. But cats and hyenas and crocodiles, lizard skins in general, they're all going to burn for one tar rather than 3 for 1, I think, is regular hides. It's kind of handy to get the fancy hides. You don't need to strip them down anymore, but that did used to be a thing. Apparently I've got to do this for journey steps, so I'll be back. Journey steps, the other other guy. Bizarre Steps. Battle Pass, that one. Now I'm back at base. I've popped in a couple of my things to my smelters. I already smelted pretty quick, 9. I tried to have a brick and a iron furnace because it's just a little bit quicker, even if you don't have boosted times. We're gonna need this to upgrade though, because we're at that point in our life where we want a little bit cheaper. I could use this, but it's gonna cost me 30 iron because I'm pretty poor at the moment. That's too many iron for me. We upgrade the benches, it's gonna make it cheaper. Unlike before, you used to get a thrall, and that would make it cheaper depending on the level of thrall you had acquired. Now they do other stuff like make it quicker and add certain recipes. Still worthy to get and add buffs, like especially on a blacksmith bench, you want to be getting bladesmiths and stuff to be making that damage a lot higher. But any thrall like a tier 3 is still going to add a buff to your weapons. Because I'm a min-maxer, it actually hurts my feelings to make anything full price and without a thrall, so I tend to just run around with dodgy weapons until I'm able to make something much better. I'm going to attempt to not do that this time, but so you'll know it's perfectly doable. You don't have to be upgrading at every level. You can avoid most iron stuff. But for the sake of this run through, I will be doing that. So first, we need to upgrade our blacksmith bench. We equip our hammer. We have made it so we have the dismantling function going. We're going to do that, and we're going to get back our resources, 100% of what we spent. So it's quite easy to upgrade. And in saying that, if you are laying a whole bunch of foundations like I did over there, and you want to pre-build out of sandstone, even though it doesn't end up being that much cheaper, do that. You will get all your resources back when you replace them. Just keep in mind that you do want to replace at least the outer wall with tier 3 and the foundations. Even if you plan to build stuff out of tier 2, you want some type of tier 3 foundation going on, because if you have purges specifically, they're going to hurt your base a lot, and it's very annoying and inconvenient. So do try to build in a way where you can repair or upgrade with ease. Same with PvP. If you happen to get raided, a lot of the time people aren't going to completely foundation wipe you unless you're kind of a dick, and then they probably will. So you can tend to repair and hide loot in certain ways in your own base, like under certain foundations and stuff. And most people aren't going to blow up a greater wheel of pain and look underneath it for your stash boxes, you know? Some people will. And if you get gotted, your boxes will probably pop, especially if like Ymir is used. But you got to make some proper enemies or be on a proper toxic server for this to be happening. So yeah, let's upgrade. Ooh, okay. That was a sorcerer's skull. Didn't know placing sorcerer skulls made the magi skulls as well. I had heard about other types of exploits. Don't use exploits. So we'll be throwing that out to not cheat on this playthrough. I don't think I have enough to even upgrade that yet. Oh, now I don't have my sorcerer skull. That's a bit rude. That's what I get for randomly decorating, I guess. I fully didn't think the sorcerer skulls were going to do it, but okay, whatever. Blacksmith bench. So now you want to press F and go into your crafting station. I haven't even unlocked the next tier. Can I even? See, this is one of the weird things about not going and leveling up quickly, because I'm like, what can I even unlock? Level 30, bruh. Okay, well, we won't be upgrading, and I guess I'll bite the bullet and just make a regular iron thing. That sucks. But it happens. Do tend to check what you can craft before you go destructing your whole base. Building, let's put this guy back then. Oh, also, if you didn't know, you can like shoot around loot bags with the ghosts. If you happen to get a loot bag you can't touch for some reason, or you want to just get rid of it out of your scene, get one of these ghosts. And also, I do apologize for my high FOV and wobbly camera and all that. It's just what I'm used to from playing PvP. For all of your PvE viewers, no, it's a bit, but I can't go back to another life, so I'm sorry. But I'd say that's probably about it for this episode. Next episode we'll be doing a bit more farming, most likely a little bit more exploring, trying to get to level 30 in a not as rushy way, but I wouldn't mind getting there as well. So we may even go take a little visit over to the Purple Lotus, because I'm not that far away, and that's going to get me up there quite quickly, or at least to a much higher level. We'll see how it goes. But if you've found this, I keep going to say informative, but I'm not making a guide right now. If you found this content enjoyable, please do smash that like button. And if you've watched a few of my videos and you're not subscribed, just consider subscribing, because I have like only 20% of my viewers subscribe, so it'd be pretty dope to get that number up. And yeah, appreciate you all, and I'll see you on the next episode and or guide. Till then, I hope you have an excellent day, evening, night, morning, whatever it may be, wherever you may be. Have a good one.